Hello, everybody, wherever you may be, from coast to coast and sea to shining sea. I want to welcome you back to Ham Radio Live, where the world comes to talk about radio. Good show today for you. General exam questions. Plus, we're going to throw in Parks on the Air and why I think it's one of the fastest growing segments there is in amateur radio. I had my chance on Saturday. I'll share that with you. Wherever you may be around this great world, it's Monday, August 8th, 2022, and this is Ham Radio Live.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. You dream of, dreams really do come true. Ooh, someday you wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me.
Little brother is Israel Kamakaole, and that's a big mouthful to say, out of Hawaii. With Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and what a wonderful world. This is for Africa.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
It really is. This was requested by our Winan. Yep, Winan wanted this song to open a show, and Winan, you got your request. How about that, my friend? It is a beautiful song, just beautiful. One of my wife's favorites about it. And here's where it kind of segues into What a Wonderful World, the great Louis Armstrong hit.
I watched them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
A singer gone way too early in life. Wherever you may be around this great big world of ours, away we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Shack in Oregon. My name is Larry. My call sign Amateur Radio is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Welcome to a Monday show here on Ham Radio Live. It is Monday, the 8th day of August 2022. I was taking a look at the weather today. I kind of do that because there's clouds coming in. We may get the first bit of rain that we've had in almost 2 months here. Today, no kidding. Like, man, maybe I don't have to water the lawn after all today. That's great. Oh, well. I hope you enjoy the show. We'll have some general exam questions. Plus, we're going to talk about Parks on the Air. That's the main purpose of the show. Probably no QSOs today. Don't think so. The weather's a little dicey for amateur radio today. Great for HF and VHF, no question. But I think we're going to really try and focus on Parks on the Air. My first chance doing it, I'll share how that was with you. The main purpose of why we come is to try and help you to find your way into amateur radio. It's just such a wonderful hobby. It's hard for me to describe because there's so many things you could do in it, right? I'm typically here when I work my radio, here in what's called a Radio Shack. I call it my studio because all my audio gear is here, where I do YouTube, but there's some ham radios here too, and I have a lot of fun in here. But you know, I had a different experience with Parks on the Air, and I want to share my view of that with you today. And that's just two of the wonderful things you could do in amateur radio, and there are countless others. Contact a big club if you'd like to get your license, like the American Radio Relay League at www.arrl.org. Please remember to hit the Contact Us bar. They'll let you know where an amateur radio club is that's close to you that'll help you get licensed. www.arrl.org. If you're here from the WRMI CQ Calling Show, I'd like to say a big old-fashioned welcome to you wherever you may be. Nope, we're glad you're here. Oh, my goodness. CQ Calling is heard all around the world on WRMI. We're very honored and grateful for that. That's such a treat for me. If you'd like to email me, please feel free to reach out at cqhamradiolive@gmail.com. And we have a fun Discord community that you can be a part of. Love to have you join us. There is no judgment. For any questions on our Discord page, we have a ball there at ham-radio-live. We have a show question today. What's the highest frequency you've worked. And you can put in meter band. Let's just keep in the meter band segment or centimeter band segment. Let us know. We'll make it part of the show. The weather today. We'll get to first, seconds, and thirds in just a brief moment. But first, the weather powered by ICOM. ICOM for the love of ham radio. And here you see another set of sunspots starting to go on the north and southern hemisphere of the sun. Things aren't all rosy today, though. We do have a problem, but we'll get to that in a moment. Here is the backside view. Shows just a little bit of the backside. Another sunspot region coming on the southern flank of the sun. Here's the problem. Coronal hole number 10 and 11 are getting us a pretty bad shot of radiation today. In fact, from solarham.net earlier today, a moderate G2 geomagnetic storm currently in progress thanks to a high-speed solar wind stream, and that's exactly what happens when you have the coronal holes facing Earth. That's what happens. So right now, visible aurora might be possible outside at higher latitudes once it's dark outside, depending upon where you're at in the world. We reached a K-index of 6 earlier today. We'll get in that in just a moment. Your sunspots, as they go from the magnetosphere view of the sun, here they go, and they're just kind of starting to weave away from left to right, and the sun doesn't change height, its diameter, but that's kind of what happened here. Anyway, here's your 3 days of solar flare detection. No big flares, right? But we're up per and around a sea level, so that's good. Good conditions. SFI is flat today at 116. Solar spot and sunspot number is at 87. See, that's up 18. And with the new sunspots that are coming, I think we have good conditions coming for your weekend and some decent stable conditions for the week. Area number 510, that's up 10 from yesterday. Here's the problem, KP index. Here's our noise floors, and all this is really more from the sun today, the geomagnetic storm from the sun. Look at that. At the beginning of the 8th, which is today, we hit a K6, and then it leveled out at K5 for about 9 hours, and now it, of course, it's down to a K3, which is still unsettled. Here is the view from the Aurora Borealis up north. Gives you an idea of what that elevated geomagnetic activity does for our aurora. It helps people to actually make signals off of it. And earlier today, this, by the way, was over near Australia. It really was on the Aurora Australis. Here's the 3-day geomagnetic forecast. Today, we already hit the KP6. We hit the 6 number, the G6 earlier today, and I'm sorry, the K6, but it was a G2 magnetic storm. Tomorrow, we're going to be at a K3 or 4. That's going to help to lower noise floors just a little bit. We should have quieter conditions coming up on Wednesday. The SFI conditions off QRZ, SFI 116, solar number 74, A index that's very elevated at 24, and that's why we have such poor conditions for HF today. K index is down to 3. That's unsettled. Signal noise level, S2 to S3 is your baseline today. BZ latitude has been far more negative than it shows right here. It's now a minus 3.3, but that solar wind really elevated, 575.6 kilometers per second. 6-meter east gap open today, as well as 2 meters for a high MUF. Current MUFs around the world right now. If you're up near Fairbanks, which, by the way, there is a weather advisory in Fairbanks, no kidding. Tonight, they have snow levels of 2,000 feet already, and this is truly the month of August. They have, no kidding, a 2,000-foot snow level up there in Fairbanks today. So their conditions aren't too bad, but they're not the greatest either. Believe it or not, they're not even on 20 meters yet. 12 megahertz right out of Fairbanks today. Right about the U.S.-Canadian border, 18 megahertz along the border. So if you're north, you're going to be about 17. South, you'll be 18. 18 stretches all the way through most of the United States. You see how that works? It just stays right on the 17-meter band right now. Heading towards the South American continent, 26 in the southern part of Venezuela. Heading towards Sao Paulo, 28. There's some 10 meters right in the middle of Brazil, and as it kind of moves out towards Bolivia and southern Peru, northern Argentina, you kind of get that 10-meter swath there, but it doesn't return again till Africa, right there in the center of the continent, around Nigeria. That's there. 10 meters is open right there. Big southern flank, and that really starts more in the central part of Africa, more near the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and it kind of goes down in South America through Brazil and out the far eastern edge there of Chile, and then goes out in the ocean. So how far south will it go today? I don't know it hits the North and South Islands today of New Zealand, but I do believe from Brisbane north in Australia, you'll get some 10 meters. Current conditions out of Europe, 18 megahertz Great Britain, 21 in France, 22 Germany, 28 down in Sicily, heading to Far East, 18 megahertz in Tokyo, and most of Australia right now is about 12 megahertz. Your ham and shortwave forecast for today, powered by ICOM. ICOM for the love of ham radio. We have a lot to cover here. SFIs will continue their slow increase through Wednesday. We're not going to get giant jumps. They may be one or two at a time here. High A index means QSB will be heavy in the Northern Hemisphere today. A index to decrease late today, noise floors to S2 tonight. So we should see from S2 to S3 down to S2 this evening. They should be decreasing to an S1 on Wednesday. Voice bands in the north, 20, 17, and possible 15 in the southern part of the Northern Hemisphere. 15 meters would be about as best as we can do here today, I think. Equatorial latitudes, 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10. Southern Hemisphere, 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10 meters north of Brisbane. If you're south of Brisbane, or if you're, like, say, in Zambia, Angola, or if you're in South America, south of maybe Salvador and westward, you're going to not get 12 and 10. That's just the way it works today. Data modes 30 to 10, maybe a short opening in the north, but definitely be open, wide open in the mid and south latitudes. High noise floors for tonight on your amateur radio bands, and that will continue through tomorrow. Nighttime handband openings 160, 80, 75, 60, 40, 30. Your best DX, maximum usable frequency at sunset, still work 20. You'll make great calls with this. Even with the conditions this bad, those 20-meter DX calls are still open for you in the evening. Shortwave bands daytime for our shortwave listeners, 31 meters, 25, 22, and 19. Shortwave nighttime bands, ignore the noise. Larry, untie your tongue. Ignore the low noise floor part. No! Yeah, ignore that part, sorry. We do have higher noise floors today, but you still get 19 later on. Nighttime shortwave bands, 120, 90, 75, and 60, 49, 41, 31, 25, 22, and 100% chance of 19 meters in the Northern Hemisphere about 2 hours after sunset, and the signals are going to fade away. It's just the way it is today. Your solar ranking at 3, we will get better conditions. It's just a bad time, really, to do a forecast in amateur radio because we've got kind of rough conditions out there. I want to welcome you to the show and give you a very wishy, happy, doggone Monday to you. Wishy, happy. Oh, anyway, all right. Hi, happy Monday. All right, let's get to your first, seconds, and thirds. First one in today, Dwight Hitchens. He's all the way here from Jamaica, Virginia, man. Give him a big old beep, beep, my friend. Beep, beep. Hey, Dwight, you did it. First place. Way to go. He's one of our shortwave mates. Good to have you, Dwight. Congratulations. First place. Well done. Second, and by a hair only, that would be Jenna all the way in Ringgold, Georgia. Give her a yeehaw. Yeah! Hi, Jenna, welcome. November 4, Juliet Echo Hotel. Welcome back. It's good to have you. Stian Bjorskvik from Norway, Lima Alpha 5, Lima Tango Alpha, coming in third. Congratulations, Stian. That's awesome. Casey's here from Phoenix. Hi, Casey. Kilo Charlie 7, Alpha Bravo Charlie. Welcome to the show. Jenna, correct. You were number 2. That's good still. That's good. Cliff Bolts from the Commonwealth of Virginia. Hi, Cliff. Good afternoon to you there. Whiskey Delta 4, Oscar Bravo Papa. Always a pleasure to be a part of your day today, too. And there is our dear friend Winan, who we played the opening song for, which was Brudda Is with What a Wonderful World. And he also got just a little bit, just a tiny little bit. He got Somewhere of the Rainbow, right? And just a tiny bit of Wonderful World. Winan, there you go. Thanks for the song request, buddy. That was fun to play. One of my wife's favorite songs. Also, welcome to Charlie from Red Summit RF, November Juliet 7 Victor. Always a pleasure, Charlie. Thanks for coming. Good to see you, my friend. Nice QSO. We made a good QSO. We'll talk about that today. And Dwight, Penn Hills, Pennsylvania. Welcome. Daniel, New Hampshire's here. Hi, Daniel. Good afternoon to you. John Hummel-Newell from Saskatchewan. It's good to see you. Thanks for being part of my day today, my friend. Victor Echo 5, Juliet Hotel, November. Hope I could be a worthwhile part of your day as well. Yeah, Jenna, that's a fun song. Fun song to start with. William from Akron, Ohio, Alpha Delta 8, India Tango, welcome. Rob is here from Tucson, November 7, Tango Tango Alpha. Winan says, I got the first like. Well, I hope so. It was your song request. Avery, or also known as Avery, Kilo 4, Victor Romeo Yankee, and yes, she's laughing. Welcome, Avery. Steve from the UK, 2 Echo Zero, X-Ray Sierra Hotel, welcome. Laura Robertson, first timer to the channel, welcome. Nice to meet you, Laura. I think first timer. I could have it wrong. If I do, please forgive me. It's nice to have you. Thank you. My friend Chris from the UK, Mike Zero, Oscar Papa X-Ray, good YouTube channel here. Thanks for coming. Chris says, hello, Larry. What a song. I just let my little girl listen to this for the first time the other week, and she loved it. It's a great song. Yeah, my wife is a big fan of that song. And when I told her about Winan's request to play it, she's like, oh, I love that song. Yep. Martin, welcome. That's from Holland. Papa Echo 9 Tango India Golf QRV. I'm here and ready to receive messages. Martin, welcome, and thanks for the Q code. That's awesome. And Ron in Monroe, Washington, November 8 Whiskey Charlie Romeo. You know, it's a pretty good song. That was a fun song to play. Winan's the reason. There you go. Stuart, Mike Zero, Tango Quebec. Amateur Radio. Hi, all. Welcome, Stuart. Good evening from you, to you, I'm sorry, in the UK. Welcome. And Winan, very happy with a big old roar from Africa. Yeah. Steve says, thanks to whoever set up this Discord bot. But you know, the Discord channel was really fun. I think you're talking about that. Anyway, yeah, the Discord channel was set up by Jeff and Dirk initially, and they did a fantastic job. Kudos to both of them. They did a great job. Really a fun place to go. Really like it a lot. Winan says, hi, my mates, ladies and gents. Africa is in the house. There you go. W. Kirby, Whiskey 4 Hotel Kilo Juliet. Good afternoon to you. Jay Canuck is back. Whiskey Juliet Golf. Also, Victor Alpha 3, Whiskey Juliet X-Ray. Welcome. Office 365 Place. And I missed this the other day when we did the show. This is Fozzie. This is, do you remember, this was back, I think about 8 months ago. We had a special guest who made a great call from the Mary Hare School, Lloyd Farrington. You remember that? This is actually, that's Lloyd's son. Welcome back from the UK. Isn't that cool? Hi, Fozzie. Good to see you, buddy. And Tom, I promised you, and he didn't even know I was doing this. He had no idea we were doing this. You know, we have music for Winan, right? And we have music for Rodney. Well, we needed music for Tom. And I thought about it for a moment. When I'm coming back to the last park I did Saturday, I thought, I've got it. Tom, here's your music. Oh, big old don't carry me too far away. I know you'll understand exactly why I played that song. Tom, welcome. Alpha 92 Golf Whiskey out of Bahrain. Alpha Echo 1 Tango Papa here in the States. Good to have you. Siobhan is here from the UK by way of Ireland. Always a pleasure to have you here. Robert Varner joins us. Just photographed the sun. Bunch of sunspots. That sounds fun. Tell me something good. We love hearing that stuff. Yeah. Sunspots are coming too, some more. Kevin, welcome from Iowa. Wonderful, wonderful friend and a good YouTube channel. Hi, Kevin. Good afternoon. Kilo 0, Kilo Lima Bravo. Always a pleasure to have you come on the show. Thanks, Kev. William Myers, Kilo Alpha 8 Golf India. Mike from all the way from Wisconsin says, far from first, but you're always first in our hearts, and we thank you for that. Answering our topic question today, the highest band you have worked before. What's the highest frequency you've worked? For Robert Varner, 10 meters. That's a good answer. Thank you, Robert. Yep. Winan is with me, 70 sems. There you go. Yeah, same with me. 70 centimeters, highest he's worked. That's the 440 megahertz band. Long ways up there. That's actually UHF. So, Winan, thank you for sharing that. Nice to know. Martin in Holland, for highest frequency for him, 1200 megahertz. Kudos, mate. That's pretty darn sturdy. All the way from Jacksonville, Florida, it's my friend William. William, welcome. Good to have you, mate. November 5, Echo Victor is in the house. Good to have you. Gosh, there's a great group today. A lot of good people. Roger McKeon and Molly, Kilo Juliet 7, Lima X-Ray, and Molly is Slant K9. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for coming today. I think we got just about everybody. Nope, we're halfway through. We still got to go way down the list, and hopefully we will be caught up and done. I think we're missing Jeff. There's Jeff from Eastern Tennessee, November 4, Papa Oscar Delta. Hi, Jeff. Oh, look, my thingy worked. We have a lot of thingies in amateur radio. Yeah, we do. A lot of thingies in amateur radio, indeed. My thingy worked. That's great. You know, the comment that was fun on Friday, I don't remember which last show, Friday. William made it. And he says, yeah, Walmart's on the air is actually a thing. And it is. I looked into it. It's one day a year. It's in July. So everybody pile in to your local Walmart in July so you can do Walmart parking lots in the air weekend. Yeah! it's like a day. Fun, right? Charlie, Red Silver Drive, today's question. I've made multiple contacts on the 23 centimeter band. That's way up there. With the Linko DJ Golf 7T handy talkie. Longest contact over 100 miles away. That's not bad for microwave. No kidding. Wow. November Juliet 7 Victor. That's an amazing call. Amazing call. Papa Charlie 4 Alpha Delta. Anton's here. Hi, Anton. Aloha to you as well, sir. I think I got everybody. Did I get everybody? I hope so. I want to move on. Siobhan in the UK. Hi, Larry. Hope you're doing amazingly well today, sir. Always lovely to see you. Like, bless your heart. Gosh, I just want to box you up and just open you up when I need some encouragement. Thank you. That's very nice. Andy Kelly, 2 Echo 0 Romeo Echo Echo. Welcome to the show. And Jeff, thank you for the kind words about subscribing. That's very, very kind. Jeremy, hello there. He's call sign Kilo 7 Victor Foxtrot Oscar. I worked a park that he has the record at. Yes, I did on Saturday. I did. Yep, first park. And we'll talk about that just a little bit. I hope you enjoyed that segment. Be a little bit of a long segment, I'm afraid. See, the problem is you don't want to make it, here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to make it like film strips, night at your family's house to show the family vacation film strip slides.
I'm ready.
No. You don't want to do that. So I'm trying to balance it out. Hopefully we'll do that. Yeah, hopefully we'll do that. Yeah, and Israel is sad that he passed away. Yeah, it's hard problem, right? It's one of those things. And, he is very well missed in the Hawaiian community too. Hawaii, he was big. And he knew, and then he kind of grew, right? When he did that song was his mile marker. It was like he just got big, really did. Andy knew, highest worth 70 sems. That's worth something. Andy, congratulations. Good work. Kirby says 70 sems. Very good. Look at Andy Kelly. He's an overachiever. 10 gig. Whoa. Nice job, Andy. That's great. Anton said, listen to Q Oscar 100. That would be uplink of 2.4 gig and downlink of 10 gig, but not QSO. But maybe one day, and that's worthwhile. Yeah. Steve in the UK, my highest is on the 10 meter band at 28.535 megahertz. Good work, Steve. Yes, sir. That's great. Good stuff. Good stuff. We are caught up. Let's get into the next segment of the show, which will be your Hem Bites today. Hem Bites today will be the general exam questions, right? We're going to talk about things that will help you license up for the technician license here in the States. It's powered by Hem Test Online, the software that knows you. They have online courses for all 3 of the amateur radio license exams here in the States. Find them online at www.hemtestonline.com. And they have a 100% money-back guarantee if you don't pass the test. First question, we'll do an all-in just a moment. First question, what effect can be caused by a resonant ground connection? Now, you may not know this. Yeah. What if you have a resonant ground connection? The answer here is kind of serious. You could have high RF voltages on the enclosures of your station equipment. Yeah, you can have that. So you don't want a resonant ground connection. You want a resonant element connection, the one that goes out over the world. That's why there's a difference here. The ground part, if it's resonant on the ground, you get the power back to your enclosures, like your radio or your tuner or your amplifier. You don't want that. So you want it to go over the radiating element out to the world. That's RF, and that's where it belongs, not on your gear. Next question, which of the following connectors would be a good choice for a serial data port? Now, don't think antennas here, all right? The first 3 are antennas, all right? PL259, that's an antenna connector. Type N's an antenna connector. Type SMA is an antenna connector, but not Delta Echo 9. Delta Echo 9 is a computer connector, right? And it looks just like this. If you look on the back of your computer, you'll see one of these. A lot of amateur radio have one of these as well. And so you hook them up and then you can connect your computer to your radio. That's why it's part of the questions. And here on Ham Test Online, one of the things they show you is the different bands and what connector to use. For example, medium frequency, a UHF or Type N connector should be the one you use. For HF, they say UHF or Type N, even though the radio comes out with a SO239 connector, right? Actually, it's an SO259, but whatever. But very high frequency, start getting the VHF, UHF for Type N, ultra high frequency, that's up to 3 gigs, Type N, and microwave frequencies, Type N as well. And these kind of show you. Let me see if I can get a little bit better. Nope, couldn't get any more. That's the little connectors, but this was the DE9. That's the DE9 for serial port connectors. Remember, we're talking about a good choice for a serial data port, not talking about, making calls with a bug or a key or with your microphone. All right. Next question. What's the purpose of the notch filter found on many HF transceivers? This is simply to reduce interference from carriers in the receiver pass band. That's all it's for. A notch filter helps to notch out if someone's tuning up or possibly they're close to you on frequency and you want to get them out of your received pass band. That's all it's about. Help to make the band easier to listen to. All right, next question, and this is going to be an all-in. All right, next question. What's the characteristic of HF scatter? Okay, so let's know characteristic of HF scatter. Here are the 4 choices, okay? Number 1, and just go 1, 2, 3, or 4. That'll be the easiest way to do this, all right? Number 1, phone signals have high intelligibility. Number 2, signals have a fluttering sound. Number 3, there are very large sudden swings in signal strength. And number 4, scatter propagation occurs only at night. Okay? Think about that. What's a characteristic of HF scatter? 1, 2, 3, or 4. Let me know with your answer, and we will see if you get it right. Good luck. HF scatter. I think people, I hope. Let me just make sure I'm not messing something up here. All right, Anton, he's got A. Just a second here. For some reason, my equipment doesn't sound right to me today. Why? I'm not sure, but I'm going to try and pot a few things up. Okay. A, if this is A for this question, Anton, which would be, what is the characteristic of HF scatter? Phone signals have high intelligibility. That would not be true. That would be false here. So not that one. All right. Next one coming in was Andy New with number 2. Signals have a fluttering sound. And that is correct. Well done, Andy. You did it. You did it. You did it, Andy. Well done. Yeah, they have a fluttering sound because it's scattering through the ionosphere. That's why it flutters. Okay, and this is one of those ones that, it's not hard to do. It really is. And Jeff says something about a typo. I've been in IT 33 years, so I've been called a DB9 or an RS232C. Yeah, okay. Well, there you go. And Tom says we normally say DB9. Yeah. Potato, Caribbean. Yeah. Did it say the wrong thing? Oh, it's a DE9. Huh. Oh, okay. DB9. Sorry, they're wrong on that. I'll let them know. Yeah, thank you for that. Congratulations, Andy New. First one who got it in, and this is just the oddest audio I'm hearing ever on this channel, which is weird. I'm trying to back everything out of here and get audio up, and it's like something is failing me here. Give me a second. Let me sort through some of this stuff here. If I turn that off, you lose me. That would be, to some, maybe a good thing. If I turn this off, perhaps, I don't know. Okay. Well, at least you don't hear all the noise going out there, too. That's really odd that things have gotten this low. Oh, wait a minute. We found the problem. There it is. Jeez. Somehow that got potted down. Not sure why. Okay, Andy, yes, you're right on that. And that was number 2. Let's take a look and see who else got this one as well, too, as Larry is doing his best to connect up and refix typos from Ham Test Online and all that stuff, too. All right. Adam got B on this. Welcome to the show, Adam. Good to have you. Anton with C. Will Myers had B. Adam says 2. Kel says 2. Winan says 2. Let's see. William in Jacksonville has B. Siobhan has it correct. Andy Cowley. And I think Amy Azar, he even puts the word fluttering in. How cool is that? Yeah, nice work. All right. And I think we got it pretty good. Yeah, that's what happened. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I was like, what the heck is going on here? We fixed it, and now we're back, for goodness sakes. Oh, if you only knew. I could tell you stories. Oh, the stories I could tell. Welcome, Jeff. Alpha Delta 7, Lima, November. Good to have you here from Portland, Oregon. Welcome. It's so good to have Jeff back on the show. Thank you for being here, Jeff. Yep, you guys got it right. Next question. All right, and again, it's just fluttering. That's all. Fluttery sound. Next, what is an advantage of vertically stacking of horizontally polarized Yagi antennas? All right. This is kind of a, I don't know, I guess on this one, the thing that you really need to get straight is there's 2 that could throw you, okay? On this answer, all right, there's 2. It narrows the main lobe in azimuth, and number 4, it narrows the main lobe in elevation. You see, both of those are there, and they talk about the main lobe, but there is a distinct difference between the 2. Remember, if you're stacking horizontally polarized Yagis, you're narrowing the main lobe in elevation. You're not changing the azimuth. So if you get this question, make sure you look at the answers carefully. You want the one that says it narrows the main lobe in elevation. You answer it that way, you'll have it right. Next, what factors affect the MUF? And MUF, of course, maximum usable frequency. The answer is given. Number 1, path, distance, and location. 2, time and day of and season. And that does it. Yeah, absolutely. C, solar radiation and ionospheric disturbances. Absolutely correct. All of these choices are right. When you're talking about the maximum usable frequency, path, distance, and location clearly are part of that. Because remember, it's maximum usable frequency from point to point. That's where it determines where it works. So, for example, we talk about for the 10-meter band, for example, it has been dead. I mean, dead as heck up here in the Northern Hemisphere.
He's dead, Jim.
Yeah, just bad all summer long. We've had amazing SFIs, but we can't get 10 back up here, which is really odd, okay? So that's what helps determine path, distance, and location, because we're not getting it up here. 10-meter calls aren't being made. Number 2, time and day of season. Now, you would think 10 would work great because of high SFI. Clearly not. It's shown us that this summer. Number 3, solar radiation and ionospheric disturbances. Yeah, the higher the SFI, the more chance you have to work 10 meters, right? But it doesn't mean you will work all the bands. So all these choices are correct. Just remember that when we're talking about maximum usable frequency or lowest usable frequency, we're talking about point-to-point communications. In this case, the maximum usable frequency from point to point, LUF, or lowest usable frequency, the lowest usable frequency from point to point. Just keep that part in mind, right? If three equal value resistors in series produce 450 ohms, what is the value of each resistor? Okay, in this one, just divide the 3. 3 divided by 450 gives you 150 ohms. If you want the formula, it's right there. Okay, see, you're dividing the resistors, all you're doing, and you're coming up with 150 ohms. Just remember, and here's a really good little primer. In a parallel circuit, current branches out through multiple paths. The formula for calculating total resistance is slightly harder as it uses the reciprocals. Okay, so you see the formula there. R over 1 equals R over 1 plus R over 2 plus 1 over R3, all right? I said R, you know what I mean. 1 over R equals 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2 plus 1 over R3. Algebra gives us this formula to use when n equal value resistors, R1, are connected in parallel, all right? Now, I should say Ri, so it's a little I. So RT equals Ri over N, okay? And that's equal value resistors. Remember, what matters here is the wiring, not the physical arrangement of the components, okay? It says here, too, there's a 17% chance that your general exam will include a question requiring calculation of resistors in series or parallel, just a 17% chance, all right? And then it talks about a series circuit and a parallel circuit. And there you go. Next question. Which of the following is most commonly used for SSB voice communications in the very high frequency and ultra high frequency bands? The answer here is upper sideband. Just remember, it goes 10 megahertz up. If you're talking sideband, that's it. So if it's sideband question, look carefully again at the question, upper sideband for UHF and VHF frequencies, all right? You'll have it right. Next, which symbol in figure G7-1 represents an NPN junction transistor? Now, if you're struggling with transistors or schematics, I invite you just to look through them carefully. But an NPN transistor, in this case, NPN transistor, it's not pointed inward. The arrow doesn't point in. It points, arrow not pointing in. It's pointing out. Okay, that's number 2. The NPN transistor is number 2 because the arrow's not pointed in. Think of it that way. NPN, not pointed in. And they use that same example right here. And that's how I learned it. Symbol 2, notice that the arrow is not pointing in. That's number 2, the FAR transistor. And remember, if you're struggling with schematics, a transistor is simply a T inside a circle. Circle in a T. You'll have it right. Okay? Next question. What unit is used to measure reactance? And this one was rough for me because when I did this, my phone dropped out of my hand. I tried to catch it. Yeah.
We're running out of time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Surely there must be something you can do.
I'm doing everything I can. And stop calling me Shirley.
Yeah. So I caught my phone, the good news, but then I when my hand hit farad, and it's ohm. It's always the same. Reactance, and if you're talking reactance and impedance, it's ohms. Okay, so when you get this question about reactance, ohm is the correct answer, and then it gives farad. Incorrect. The farad measures capacitance. So remember, farad measures capacitance. Ohm is in reactance and in impedance. You'll have it both places. All right, I think we only have one more. Yeah. Which of the following most limits an HF mobile installation? In this case, it really is about the size of the antenna. Remember, HF antennas tend to be very long, right? They tend to be really long, especially like if you think of a vertical antenna, right? Quarter wavelength is about 10 meters or 30 feet, right? So if you're in a moving vehicle, you can't very well have a 30-foot antenna sticking out of your vehicle. You're going to be scraping underneath bridges and everything.
Where's the kaboom?
Yeah, pretty much.
There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
Yeah, like in, breaking the antenna everywhere. Yeah, it's actually just the efficiency of the electrically short antenna. That's what most limits HF mobile installations, meaning that the limitation to it is you can't put a 30-foot antenna on them or a 10-meter antenna because it's just, it's a moving vehicle, right? So that's the reason why. All right. I want to thank Ham Test Online, supplying their good questions today for our general ham bites. Yep, 100% money back guarantee. 100% money back guarantee if you fail the test. Find them online at www.hamtestonline.com. They're great people. If you have questions about things, they'll answer the questions. And I'm clipping again. I have just had major problems with my audio today. Sorry about that. Thanks to Ham Test Online for that, too. Anyway, We'll get to your questions. Today's question, by the way, we have a topic question. Topic question today's show is kind of a fun one. The highest frequency you ever worked, right? For me personally, 77. That's the highest I've worked. But from other people, you've worked way, way higher. Yeah, that's not exactly. I did not actually turn the doggone thing around.
Some bitch.
Yeah, right?
Don't
Didn't
you
do
cuss
that.
on this show.
Didn't do that. No, no. Anyway, Ron says it's not a typo. It is a DE9, but many know them as DB9. There you go. And condolence, I guess Olivia Newton-John passed away. Man, I had such a crush on her. Oh, man, she was so gorgeous, wasn't she? Woo. Man, when Grease came out in the late 70s, she was just a beautiful, beautiful woman. Yeah. And Tom, yeah. Also, we also remember the arrow always points to the N. Yeah. Another way to remind it yourself. And Jeff points in proudly, and not pointing in is N-type. Yeah. You guys, it's good to see you guys. I want to thank you for coming to the channel today. It's great to see you. Jenna answers the topic question. Her height, 2 meters. Well done, Jenna. That's awful cool. That's really cool. Jeff says 5 gigahertz on Wi-Fi. Thank you, Jeff. That's great. And I mean thank you.
Thank you.
5 gigs. William says, you and me both, Larry. Olivia was gorgeous. She was. Gosh, what a beautiful woman. And I mean, she was pretty, and she had that kind of, remember the personality that humbly kind, sweet personality that was Olivia Newton-John. Jeremy, he says, I have used 900 megahertz. Whoa. Mike in Jacksonville, 900 megahertz as well. Overachievers. That's really good, guys. Well done, really. I mean that. Well done. Well done. All right, we're going to get into something I'm really excited to talk about. I had a chance this past weekend to do Parks on the Air for the first time, and I wasn't really sure if I would get 10. I thought I would, but here's what I did, and I'll be really honest with you, because I think, honestly, it might, I guess so. It might be time right now for a Larry moment.
And now, a Larry moment.
All right, so what I did was I was prepared to fail, meaning bring extra stuff, right? So I had 3 antennas, I had 2 wire, and I had 1 vertical. Okay, so I used the Chameleon MPass 2.0 vertical, which is a really good vertical antenna. Also brought the ZS6 BKW antenna. Also brought the G5RV Junior with me. So I had 3 antennas. My problem was getting the antenna up in the air. I didn't have a slingshot. This didn't work, and it hurt my back. So I was like, nope, not going to be an uncomfortable day. We're going to make it work. So I brought the Chameleon. That was a godsend to me. The Chameleon 2.0 is an amazing vertical, and it really helped me to set up quickly, get it up quickly, and start working fast. That was important. Getting up and working quickly is, I think, important if you're going to work Parks on the Air. And I would imagine it would be on summits or islands on the air. I would think so, because you want to get working, right? Well, that antenna was very special for me because it went together fast and was up fast, okay? Bring a hammer, and the good thing to do, bring a piece of wood, like a small piece of 2x4, and then use that as you hammer the stake. It's like a big old long vampire stake, about 12 inches long, but you don't want to hit the aluminum on top because you can start to deform it, and then you have a hard time getting the threads in, right, for the main coil. It's the Chameleon magic in the antenna. So I did that, and I'm grateful I did because I could set up fairly quickly, and I thought, we'll have fun. We'll see if we can make some calls. Never doing it before, I prepared like it was field day for me. And for me, that was pretty fun. I didn't want to take the directional antenna out of the backyard. I wanted to stay up and guy wired. I wanted to take different antennas. So here's what we did. This is the area that I work at, right? This is where I'm from. I'm down a little bit southwest of Salem, okay? Just a little bit southwest of Salem, which is right in the middle of all these yellow dots. Okay, I'm going to show you the parks I worked at within this range, okay? First one was right there, all right? It's a little southwest of me, and the next one was up here. This is in the coastal range. If you look between the two, you see one of them is right at the edge of those mountains, and it's in the valley, okay? The next one is in the middle of the coastal mountains. So I had elevation from the second one, I had the valley in the first one. Then I rewarded myself on the third one. I went to the beach and made calls. I went to 3, no kidding, 3 different activations. I had that much fun doing Parks on the Air. It was fun to take the radio to a place I don't normally go, hook everything up, and see what it did, what it did. And I was floored. I had so much fun doing Parks on the Air. That's probably my new favorite thing to do in amateur radio now. It really is. I had a ball doing it. Let me show you Park 1. All right, Park 1 was Sarah Helmick State Recreation Area. Easy to remember, park designator K-0200. And when you're pulling in, you see the sign. This is at fall, but this is the same sign you see. As you drive in, it looks just like this. Beautiful trees all over the place. Just a beautiful place to go. And when I got there to set up, I had the most amazing opportunity. Let me show you what my setup looked like. So there's basically the back of the working conditions here. I'm using the Bioenno 1220A. This will work just fine for 100 watts for 4 or 5 hours, no problem. I've worked as much as 8 with it at full power. And this is the 7100. It goes, power goes in here, straight into the Anderson power pole out of the Bioenno power. And then you make sure whenever you're working with 7100, you keep the 2 connectors, different. Here is one, and that one's shielded. So that is going to be your power cable that goes in back of the radio. And you can see it's also shielded back here. The other one is your microphone. Microphone just goes right here. And then the antenna is right there. So we're just using the Chameleon M-Pass, which is great for 20 meters to, let me see, it goes all the way to 6. So basically just kind of walk around, turn the radio on, just hold on to the button, and there we go, the radio is on. So we started that way, all right? And then we started to make calls. And one of the most cool calls, I'm going to share with you my favorite calls, because there were 40, let's see, hold on, 22 plus 13 is 45, 45 calls. Okay, so my first one I really loved was with a young ham. This is a kid, and it was fun to work with them. You'll remember when we were kids, right? And we were trying out something new. We were learning, and it was hard to get comfortable. And I was so proud of this kid. I really was. Let's listen to that call. And just so
5 and 7 here in Western Illinois.
let's move the table. In the shade. Much better. Much better.
Okay, 73. Whiskey Golf 0, Alpha Tango Sierra, QRZ.
Kilo 7, Hotel November. Kilo 7, Hotel November.
I heard someone there, but please come again.
Kilo 7, Hotel November. Kilo 7, Hotel November. Is that a Roger?
I heard Kilo 7. Please come again.
Kilo 7, Hotel November. Kilo 7, Hotel November. QSL.
I heard Kilo 7 Hotel and then it dropped out. Please come again.
November, November, November. Over.
I can't hear you. Maybe try once more.
Kilo 7, Hotel November. Kilo 7, Hotel November. QSL.
Okay, so is it Kilo 7 Hotel November?
Roger, 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 Roger. You are a 5757, park number K0200, QSL.
You're 5'7", and you're in Western Illinois, and my name is Matthew.
Matthew, nice to meet you. My name is Larry. You're going to be on YouTube. I have a YouTube show that I will put you on. 57 here into Oregon. What is your call sign? Over.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Thanks for the QSO. I hope to talk to you again. Whiskey Golf 0, Alpha Tango Sierra, Oregon.
Isn't that great? QSL, good work, Matt. Good work on the radio. We'll see you on YouTube. My best to you and your family, buddy. God bless you. Isn't that cool? Oh my gosh, that was awesome. I was so happy to talk to Matthew. He was trying so hard, you know, and he was concentrating. You could just tell. And I probably didn't have a monster signal. It was all the way into central Illinois, but he kept trying and he kept trying and he kept trying and he got it. And I was so proud of you. And Matt, if you're watching, you did awesome, man. Well done, man. Well done, kiddo. Good work. That was awesome. You did awesome. You really did. So proud of you. I really am so proud of you. All right, so we also made a call with somebody that's here. And I've made one call before, but it was really hard to hear him. Not this time. From a high summit, over 7,000 feet in elevation from Arizona, November Juliet. So, oh my gosh, November Juliet 7 Victor. Charlie in Arizona, listen to this. Now, Charlie. November Juliet 7 Victor, Kilo 7 Hotel November. I have a copy on you. How are you, Charlie? Just hope he hears me.
Let me see here. K7HN, K7HN. Are you there, Larry?
QSL, that's a Roger, Charlie. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November.
Okay, got it that time. Got it. Okay, came up in the noise. K7HN, November Juliet 7 Victor. Copy, you're a 57 here on the Mingus Mountain in Arizona.
What an honor to make the call to you, man. I'm so excited, man. You're a 59. Great copy here into Oregon. I'm at a state park that's just on the west side of the coastal range here.
Okay, cool. Well, you know what? That's a park-to-park then. I have a park-to-park here because I am in a national forest, so let me give you my park designator so we can do that. It's a Kilo 4431. Kilo 4431, Prescott National Forest, park-to-park.
QSL Charlie, I am at park number Kilo 0200. That's Kilo 0200. Is that a QSL?
Yeah, got it. Kilo 0200. That's a QSL, park-to-park. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. It's an honor for me to make a call with you, buddy. How are the signals going for you? You making a lot of calls?
Yeah, it's going great. You're at number 99 right now.
Goodness sakes, if I would have waited a little longer, I could have been 100, man.
Darn it. Yeah, well, that's the way it goes. Well, thank you for setting up and making this attempt. It's great to finally get you where I could actually hear you. I think we had one other QSO, but it was way down in the noise.
Yeah, it was. It really was. This is much better. It's funny. I'm just using the chameleon vertical antenna here today at this park. So first time I've activated a park, man. Charlie, thank you for the call. Get that number 100. And God bless you, man. You're a dear friend. November Juliet 7 Victor. God bless you and the very best from Oregon from Kilo 7 Hotel November.
Okay, Larry. Yeah, thank you so much. 73 to you, buddy. Have fun up there and out there, and we'll catch you on your next live stream. 73.
Thanks, Charlie. 73 to you.
Isn't that great? That's Charlie. I'm so excited about that. All right, so there's another side to that QSO, right? Let's listen from Arizona's side of that very same QSO from November Juliet 7 Victor. Here's the signal coming his way on the same QSO.
Here, K7HN, are you there, Larry?
QSL, that's a Roger, Charlie. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November.
There he is. Okay, got it that time, got it. Okay, came up in the noise. K7HN, November Juliet 7 Victor. Copy, you're a 57 here on the Mingus Mountain in Arizona.
What an honor to make the call to you, man. I'm so excited, man. You're a 59. Great copy here into Oregon. I'm in a state park that's just on the west side of the coastal range here.
Okay, cool. Well, you know what? That's a park-to-park then. I have a park-to-park here because I am in the national forest. So let me give you my park designator so we can do that. It's a Kilo 4431. Kilo 4431, Prescott National Forest, park-to-park. Yeah, got it. Kilo 0200. That's a yes, a QSL park to park. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. It's an honor for me to make a call with you, buddy. How are the signals going for you? You making a lot of calls?
Yeah, it's going great. You're number 99 right now.
Goodness sakes, if I would have waited a little longer, I could have been 100, man.
I know. Darn it. Yeah, well, that's the way it goes. Well, thank you for setting up and making this attempt. It's great to finally get you where I could actually hear you. I think we had one other QSO, but it was way down in the noise.
Yeah, it was. It really was. This is much more. It's funny. I was just using a chameleon vertical antenna here today at this park. So first time I've activated a park, man. Charlie, thank you for the call. Get that number 100. And God bless you, man. You're a dear friend. November Juliet, 7 Victor. God bless you. The very best from Oregon from Kilo 7 Hotel November.
Okay, Larry. Yeah, thank you so much. 73 to you, buddy. Have fun up there and out there, and we'll catch you on your next live stream. 73.
Thanks, Charlie. 73 to you as well.
We did it! I was so happy, man. That made my day, and I was really pumped. In fact, I texted Charlie. I'm like, gosh, this is fun. I've already activated the first park. And by the way, we have the guy who actually leads that park for the most contacts, really, the most QSOs. I want to just share him on the screen really quick because I noticed he was there. He had been there, and he had also opened the most QSOs at that very first park. And I was like, no, you know what? I don't want to sit here and try and keep making calls because I might get close to his record. And the competitive side of me then would say, nah, yeah, let's go get that record today. But instead I didn't. I left the park and I went to another park. The person who it was Jeremy, Kilo 7 Victor Foxtrot Alpha, and I'm having a hard time finding him in the chat right now. So he has made the most Qs from the very first park I was at, and he has the record. I forget what it was, but he did it from this park right here. Jeremy, Kilo 7 VFO, very number 1 QSO creator from right there at that park. He is. Well done, Jeremy. That's good stuff. So we're going to go to the second park now. Remember, the second park is totally different geographically than the first. The second park is in the middle of the coastal mountains of Oregon. Now, interestingly enough, at the lower end of the parking lot, and I mean, it was a tough path for me to do, and it took a lot out of me physically. It was about 410 feet. No, excuse me, 440 feet at the parking lot, right? The problem was if I set up an antenna anywhere near the parking lot, there was like a berm that blocked everything from the east and the north. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to get height. So I trudged up this stupid long trail, killed myself, had to take 4 trips up that doggone thing, but we made it up there. And for goodness sakes, we had a ball. This is park number 2 in the middle of the coastal mountain range here in Oregon, Fort Yamhill State Historic Site. For folks that are close by, this would be right by Grand Ronde, also where Spirit Mountain Casino is. Pretty big, well-known casino here in the area. Let's take a look at park number 2. Here is what it looks like. You go into it. It has kind of a little area about Fort Yamhill and what it was like in the olden days, right? Here's the pathway that goes around. There you see the parking lot, the famous parking lot. Okay. It's very bad resolution, right? But if you look in the center of where the dots are, that's the trail, okay? And way up there to the left side, there's a part that's Sentry's like stand, okay? On the far left side, lower end, okay? Now that doesn't look like it's a hill, but it is a big hill, and it was probably 75 or 80 doggone yards long. But we made it up the doggone thing, and here was call number 1 from the second park at Fort Yamhill.
I appreciate it.
First Thank you. Hold on a second. We got to celebrate this. I host a YouTube channel. I'm almost on every day, and I just want to let's celebrate this together. November 6th, Romeo Kilo Tango. This is your first call on your 7300.
That is correct. It's N6 Takeoff. This is my first contact on my new radio. I just got it today, finally. It's been on hold for 2 months. I got it picked up yesterday, and I just installed it today. It's working good so far.
Boy.
Really a lot to run on, so there's a lot of buttons and knobs. So how's it sound?
Oh, you're sounding great. You sound great up here, and definitely making the call. You're actually
reaching a state park in the middle of the Oregon Coast Range, nearly to the Pacific Ocean. So excellent signal. I'm going to give you a 59, 5x9. My name is Larry, Lima Alpha, Romeo Yankee. And what was your name again?
Okay, D7HN60ET. Vancouver is Kevin, Kevin, Kevin.
Okay, so I know it was a little off frequency, you tell. But you know what? He was so doggone happy. It was the first call he made. And I was so happy because he had just set up his radio or something, right? And he made the call. He heard the park and he made the call to me. And I was really honored to get that call. So it was pretty exciting. In fact, it's funny. He stayed on frequency. I made a couple more calls. He came back to me another time. And I'm going, okay, what do you want? And he's like, oh, no, I just want to tell you I'm listening and everything is fine. So thank you. That's great. Okay. So here is the second part of what it was like to work at this park, Fort Yamhill. And Fort Yamhill was the highest elevation of any parks I worked. I worked 3. Here is part 2. Take a listen.
November 0, Golf Whiskey Mike, Kilo 7, Hotel November. Fine copy, 57, 5x7. I'm at a park on the air, park number K as in kilowatt, dash 0200. My name is Larry, Lima Alpha, Romeo Yankee. Over.
Okay, Larry, this is Leon. I'm Mobile on top of Vail Pass in Colorado.
Wow, is that cool or what? Fine signal, fine signal. Well, I don't want to ask you to check the signal report here while you're driving. It's nice to make the call. I'm literally about 40 miles to the east of the Pacific Ocean right now in a state park. Nice to meet you, William. Drive safely. 73 from Oregon. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. God bless you, man, and thanks for the call.
Okay, very good. Larry, the name here is Leon, Lima Echo Oscar November. Call is November 0 Golf Whiskey Mexico. I am Mobile 6 on top of Vail Pass. N0 GWM.
Oh, that's wonderful. Can you give me a signal report off the top of your head what you think I might?
Yeah, you're running a good 5.5 here. 5.556 on the peak. Very good. Yeah, I'm up here handling a bicycle the other day. I'm permanent up here.
Well, great audio. Good signal, too. You're really hammering me here, so great signal. I'll give you 73. Best of luck to you. I'm going to try and find an open frequency. November 0, Golf Whiskey Mike. Thanks for the call. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Best to you and your family, mate.
N0 GWM, sir.
That was fun. He was mobile. He was at the top of Vail Pass in Colorado. That was cool. So there was a third one I wanted to share with you from the same park. But I thought, you know what? Instead, I would show you the working conditions, just to give you an idea, because this was a hard park to do. It took a lot out of me physically to do this. He had to carry the radio bag, and I got real careful. I was like, okay, how do we consolidate everything? Radio and the coax and yada yada goes into the backpack, and then the antenna had to go in its own backpack. Great. Okay, got to carry my cane. I have to carry my drink, and I have to get the table and chair up there. 2 trips. We made it, but here's what it looked like at the top.
Okay, so here's the working conditions from park number 2. This is park number Kilo 9546. It's Fort Yamhill State Park. It's in the coastal range of Oregon. It's beautiful. It just really is. You can kind of see just how gorgeous this area is up here. And, you know, if you kind of walk around just a little bit and you go over here, you got a nice American flag. You know, it's a nice park. It really is. They've got walking trails. And I had to really hike this stuff uphill to get here. That took a lot out of me. That was a tough hike, but I promised myself I'm going to go all the way to the beach if I make it. So if you go up here, this is what you see. And if you go back down this way, you kind of see the working conditions. And I know everybody's going to want to know what the heck is in the sentry box. Nothing. There's not a thing in the sentry box. And no, it's not even an outhouse. Let me show you. So there's the radio and there's the chameleon vertical. 10 calls, including Eric, Kilo 3, Echo Lima Golf, and I loved that. That was fun. So here is the sentry house, the sentry box, you say, as you can see right there. There you go. Just empty, but a neat place and cool to activate this park. So we got our 10 Qs and packing up and heading way back down that darn trail again. You can't even see the parking lot from here. Even if I zoom it in, you can't see it. All right, guys.
So that was park number 2. And the interesting part about this, park number 1 was easy to activate. It was like, I thought, get 13 Qs there fast. Number 2, It was pretty good. It was a good pace, an hour for 10. That was how long it took. I had to keep moving the table into the shade, right? But took a lot out of me. I was really sore after Park 2, and I weighed, okay, is it really worth going 25 more miles to the ocean? Yes, it was, because the view is absolutely stunning. And Mike, I'm so sorry. I don't have our QSO recorded. I feel bad about that. I want you to know right now, Kilo Golf 2 Mike, I felt awful. And that was made at the second park, but I just couldn't get that recorded. Sorry, buddy, I really am. But let me just give you an idea about park number 3 now. We packed everything up, got down the doggone trail, all the way to the parking lot twice to get everything back down there. And then we went to park 3. And this is what park 3 is. Oh, man. This is some serious beauty here. This is Rhodes End State Recreation Site here in Oregon. And it used to have just an amazing restaurant nearby. It was called Dory Cove. It burned to the ground about 15 or 20 years ago. It's been moved down south into Lincoln City a little more now. But down here at Rhodes End, it is really special. If you look out towards the north, here's the beach off of the Rhodes End National State Park, right? Looks beautiful. Sorry, I said national. It's a state park here. But that's what it looks like heading north. If you look to the south, that was the view. Oh my gosh, it was beautiful. And here is some work from the ocean at Rhodes End, Lincoln City, Oregon. CQ Parks on the Air from Park Kilo 8318 on the Oregon coast. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Calling CQ and listening.
Kilo 7 Sugar Whiskey Box.
Is that Kilo 7 Sugar Whiskey Fox?
Roger, Roger. 055 here in Arizona.
Well, thank you for the 55. You're peaking up at a 57. Of course, we got some QSB today, but boy, I'll tell you, you got a great signal. It sounds fine here in Oregon. Thank you so much for making the call. It's a beautiful view, but I almost given up on trying to activate this park. Over.
Roger, Roger. Yeah, you came up a little bit that time. You was about a 5'7".
Well, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. And that was kind of part 1. And the reason I stopped everything and made it go quiet was because that's what happened. I got 2 cues. And if you remember Jimmy? Jimmy is a Whiskey 5 Delta Oscar Bravo out of Albuquerque area of New Mexico. I think Albuquerque. He's in New Mexico. He's the guy that always wants to help you through audio, right? And he's so good at what he does. My first one was to him, and I told him, I said, Jim, I've talked to you multiple times, but I don't think I've told you thank you. You spend so much time helping so many people. And he told me this beautiful story that I'm going to save for tomorrow's show about what it meant to him to help people and how he learned amateur radio. It's a beautiful story, and I hope you enjoy that. That's from Jimmy. But after QSO 2, it stopped. This is like about 4:45 p.m. Good time at the beach. I mean, it's gorgeous there. I mean, no problem whatsoever with beauty, but making calls was totally different. It stopped at number 2, and I thought, man, this is why this park doesn't have a high number of QSOs like the first park had. Before I go too far, I do want to welcome a first-timer. Kilo 6 Yankee Lima, welcome to Ham Radio Live. Nice to have you here. Thank you for coming. My name is Larry. It's nice to meet you. Thank you for being here today. What a treat to meet you and have you part of today's show. All right. So it was tough to get cues at the beach at first. And then all of a sudden, things just took off. Here is the second part of working at Rhodes End. This is on the Oregon coast. My reward for working 2 parks was to work a 3rd park. This is part 2. CQ POTA, CQ Parks on the Air. From Park Kilo 8318, this is Kilo 7 Hotel November, calling CQ and listening.
Whiskey 1 Echo Golf Golf.
Whiskey 1 Echo Golf Golf. Thank you for the call. Beautiful signal. 59 plus 10 into Lincoln City, Oregon. My name's Larry. Lima Alpha Romeo Yankee. Park number here is Kilo 8318. Roger?
USL, thanks, Harry. You are about 5'7" here into Northern California, and the name is Steve. Over.
Steve, it's great to meet you. Thank you so much for making the call. You know, I just need one more to activate this darn park. It's just, it's kind of hard to get out, I think. So anyway, gosh, I appreciate your kindness in returning the call. Whiskey 1, Echo Golf Golf. I'll wait for your final. This is Kilo 7, Hotel November. God bless you. The very best to you and your family, Steve.
That was number 2. We got a third video. So what happened was I'm at the beach, right? And then all of a sudden, no, this is no kidding, all right? I start to get close and I got over 10. All right, so 10 was made at the beach. All right, wait, it happens. Larry's chair then breaks. No! Yeah, I'm on a folding chair, right? And it just collapsed and I fall backwards onto my tailbone. I had a real hard time getting up. It was really, really painful. I was thinking, oh no, I've got to take down the antenna. I got to take the gear down. It's a folding table. That's good. I'm thinking, how am I going to get everything to the car? I'm in pain. And then the radio starts coming back with call signs. No kidding. All of a sudden, it's a pileup. Final video from the beach. Take a listen. This is Kilo 7, Hotel November. Kilo 7, Hotel November, calling CQ. CQ parks on the air from Park Kilo 8318, Kilo 7, Hotel November, calling CQ and listening.
Kilo 6, Victor Papa Juliet.
Is that Kilo 6, Victor Papa Juliet?
That's Kilo America 6, Victor Papa Japan.
QSL, Kilo Alpha 6, Victor Papa Juliet, Kilo 7, Hotel November, 57, 5x7 here into Park Kilo 8318 on the Oregon coast. I'm in Lincoln City, Oregon. Name is Larry, Lima Alpha, Romeo Yankee, over.
Yeah, hi Larry, nice to meet you. We've got a very nice signal down here into Anaheim, California. You're 5 and 9. QSL?
You just jumped to a 59 as well, mate. Just looked at the meter. I was like, man, he's up to a 59. Nice signal, man. Great signal. And the best part, you're my 10th call, so I've activated this park now.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. Are you gonna keep on it, or are you gonna call it a day?
You know, I'm stuck, to be honest with you, because Gray Line's probably 3 hours away, and gosh, I'd love to stick around for Gray Line. The coast is a great place to be when that hits, you know?
Yeah, it sounds beautiful up there. Probably a little cooler than down here in Southern California. We were sitting about 90 plus today.
Yeah, inland here today it was 93, and here it's 72, so it feels good, but it's going to get pretty cold once that sun goes down. It always does, man.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, hey, thanks for the 5 and 9. I'm actually talking to you on a little COP rig, and sometimes I go put it on an amp. So sometimes the amp kicks in, sometimes it doesn't. So that's why sometimes I come across and sometimes I don't.
Yeah, it's a solid 5.9, absolutely, according to 7100. It's right on the 9, so nice signal, really is. I'll give you a 73 and a big thank you for letting me activate this park. Kilo Alpha 6, Victor Papa Juliet. God bless you. The very best to you and your family from Kilo 7 Hotel November in Oregon.
Have a wonderful evening, and 73 to you.
73 to you as well. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November, QRZ.
Kilo 3, Delta Lima, someone's on the air.
Kilo 3, Delta Lima, Soda. This is a POTA. Park number Kilo 8318. That's Kilo 8318. Name is Larry, Lima Alpha, Romeo Yankee, 59. No kidding. 5-9 into Oregon.
QSL, you're a 5-9 here onto the mountaintop in Wyoming. Can you repeat your call sign for me?
Yeah, it's Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Is that a Roger?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I've got you at Kilo 3 Delta Lima. Is that right?
QSL, that's correct. Just outside of town up on the mountain.
Beautiful. How's the weather in Wyoming? I've got to ask you.
Oh, it's gorgeous right now. It's golden hour almost, and it's about 68 up here right now, and perfect skies.
Well, you've got an excellent signal. You should have no problem making some great calls here around Gray Line. Thank you so much for making the call to me. I really mean that. Kilo 3 Delta Lima. God bless you. The very best to you, and good luck on your summit
from Kilo 7 Hotel November.
7-3, and hope you have a good evening as well.
Thank you, my friend. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November, QRZ.
November Lima 7 Victor.
November Lima 7 Victor, Kilo 7 Hotel November, another 5-9, just a great signal. I'm at Park Kilo 8318 in Lincoln City, Oregon. Name is Larry, Lima Alpha, Romeo, Romeo Yankee, over.
Okay, Larry, very good. Nice to hear you again there. You're 5-1, 51.
51, I'll take that. Now, you're in North Pole, Alaska, is that right?
Roger, roger.
My goodness, what's the temperature? I gotta ask, what's the temperature up there?
Right now we're about 60 degrees, over.
Man, oh man, I bet it's beautiful up there. And does the sun stay up most of the day and night there still?
It sets now. It gets dark about 2 o'clock in the evening.
My goodness, wow, 2 a.m. And then what time does the sun come back up? I gotta ask you.
It starts coming back above around 4 a.m.
Wow, that's just a trip to me. I couldn't imagine that. That's fantastic. Well, thank you for helping me to activate this park. I mean it. It's an honor to meet you. It really is. I'm going to put you on the YouTube channel tomorrow because this is an honorable call for me. I mean that. Thank you very much. November Lima 7 Victor, the very best you in North Pole, Alaska, from Kilo 7 Hotel November.
Very good, Larry.
Yes. And I'll just stop it there because I don't want to. This would give you weak a little fine line of family vacation film strip projector night, and this is what we did, and I don't want to make it that long, so I appreciate it. And one call I made that just came out on the comments that I remember very, very well, and it came right here. This was a call that was so special because I made that call from the beach. I really did. This is such a special opportunity for me to say thank you to you. This is Kilo 6, Yankee Lima, and she's in Southern California. She says, "Hi, Larry, I worked at POTA from Silver Strand State Beach, Kilo 3568. And she told me I had the Pacific Ocean in front of me and the bay behind me. Talk about an amazing call, and she came in like she was across the street. Wow, unbelievable. So good to make your acquaintance. Thanks for coming to Ham Radio Live. It's nice to meet you. And boy, did I have fun. I was bit by the doggone POTA bug this weekend. Jeez, that was fun. For me to go that distance, that was probably about 120 miles of driving. It was a ways, but well worth it. And the total of 45 Qs. Now, Charlie, on the other hand, I think it was over 100, almost 160 QSOs from Charlie. November Juliet 7 Victor from the peak up there in Arizona. Amazing. Wow, really good. But it was fun. And she says, I've been there before, and it was on the show. She was on the show about a year ago, and she said that on the video too. And I thank you very, very much. These were really fun to do. I made calls. I can't, I haven't even counted the states up yet, but it was probably over 20 states. If you want an experience like Field Day, right? But more cool because people are park hunting, right? Try POTA. Seriously, just do it. It's so much fun. The only thing I'm a little bit upset about is it took me so long to get there. I wish I would have not missed so many weekends where I could have went out and done it. And I really did purposely carve out some weekends where I don't have guests on Saturdays so I could go do Parks on the Air. Man, am I glad I did that now. If you've never done Park on the Air, do it one time. Make sure you have a decent antenna. That's really the key. If you have a good antenna. I've had great luck with Alpha's Hextenna. I've used it, and the Chameleon 2.0. Done both. Worked well with it. I haven't done the 1979 yet. I've got to work with that one next. But I had a ball working 3 parks. Try it. The least you can do is take your gear and go home and not get anything. The most you can do is do what I did and say, man, I want to go to another park. And then you go to a third park. And pretty soon, before you know it, you're hooked.
Nutty as a fruitcake.
Yeah, pretty much. Probably so. But it was fun. It was so much fun. Parks on the Air, one of the best things I've ever done. Really. I can't think of anything I've tried that's new that meant that much. I was so excited. In fact, my wife said, Larry, I haven't heard you this happy and this excited in months. And I'm like, it's been pretty hard around here, Kara. She said, I know. I want to say a quick hello to Sam Weaver for joining us. So thank you, Sam. And thank you as well to making the call. Oh, I'm sorry. No, not one over 150. It was 185, Charlie, mate. Oh, boy. He's got lots of logging to do. Done. You know, honestly, I don't want to take the Buddy Hex on. I did from field day. I had some fun with it there on the hill, but I didn't want to take it down because I've got it guide down in 6 places. And Don, I wanted to hold it where it was. And I'm grateful I did that because in all honesty, it was too windy at the beach. It would have been really hard to manage it. If I had done it from the mountaintop, here's what happened. This is a great, I know, this is the second time. It's the first time it's ever happened during a Larry show, but we're going to get, there's 2 Larry moments.
And
okay?
now,
yeah,
a
okay.
Larry moment.
Okay, so the second Larry moment, at the first park, the park ranger comes, right? He comes over and he takes a look. He sees the antenna. He sees the radio stuff. And he's like, oh, hey, how are you? You must be one of those hams. You guys come around here from time to time. It's great to have you in the park. The second park, which is way up that doggone hillside from Hades, the park ranger comes up, right? He sees the antenna. He walks around, and there's ground radios. There's only 4. It's not loaded with tons. But he walks around it, and it's like he was looking for something to pick me on. And he walks around it. I said, everything okay? He just, yeah, carry on. Okay. But it was funny because you tell he was trying to find something wrong with what I was doing. I was way up. I wasn't on the trail. I was outside of where people were walking, and I was just having fun. And it was away from the parking lot. But gosh, that was fun. Parks in the Air was absolutely a kick in the pants. I am so grateful I did it. If you can this year, try and go activate a park. 10 Qs is all it takes. And I bet after 10 Qs, you will be hooked for life on Parks on the Air. It's the coolest thing I've done. And speaking of Parks on the Air, this was crazy. This happened. Not only was it crazy it happened, but it's crazy it happened to me because my name is Larry. The Parks on the Air award show is coming up on 8/15 if you're worldwide, 8/15/2022 at 0 UTC. Now, here in the States, all right, that's going to be the 14th of August at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's 5 p.m. Pacific. Join the Parks on the Air award show on the Parks on the Air YouTube channel. You'll be glad you did. Then on Saturday, August 27th here, we'll meet Carlos, Kilo Delta 9, Oscar Lima November, talking about jumping out of airplanes and making calls all the way down. Yeah, it's fun. But he's going to make some tell some stories, answer your questions, and share some stuff with all of us. Grateful to have him. Please join us, 1900 UTC on August 27th. Then on September 3rd, we're very honored to have Gary Pierce from Ham Radio Now join us. That's on the 3rd of September now. Okay, remember that's next month, 1900 UTC. That's 8 p.m. in London, 3 p.m. in the Eastern Time Zone, and noon Pacific. Then Hayden, this is the day that's kind of a little weird for us here. Friday, September 9th at 23 UTC. All right, so that's when the show will be. And here in the States, it's going to be Friday afternoon at 4 p.m., okay, in Pacific Time Zone, 7 p.m. in the Eastern Time Zone. So a little different time, very different date, but it'll be worth it for Hayden from Ham Radio DX. Please join us for that fun show, right? I had so much fun Saturday. I needed a full day. I needed 2 days for recuperation. Oh, man, that was just great. And Charlie, thanks for the call. And thank you, too. This was so much fun to make the call. Kilo 6 Yankee Yankee Lima. Seriously, POTA is addictive. I have not found something I've done in amateur radio for the first time that I was that excited about. You'll have a ball. There's so many people looking for your call because you're at a Park on the Air and they are excited to work with you. Man, you'll have a great time. You'll do it. Try it one time. You'll love it. All right. Why don't we just have a little fun and let's just say thank you to somebody who watches the channel. So if you don't mind, give me a chance to just say thank you to somebody.
Hey, boy, come here, quick.
All right. Uh-oh. That's not good. Let's take a look. I want to really reach out, and we're going a long way south. Ferdinando de Carvalho Arrojo. This is a person who we had on the show on Friday. And this is all the way down to Brazil. Watch this show, and I am so honored he does. Papa Union 7, Juliet Delta Papa. And he's all the way in Rio Grande do Norte, Brazil. And he watches ham radio live. I'm so happy he does. Let's take a look. This is his used car Z page. Look what he's done. Here's some great QSL cards that he's got in his collection. He's got much more than this, trust me. And there's Fernando. So doesn't Fernando look sharp? Look at him. Looking good, Fernando. Man, wonder where he's at? Here is the state of Rio Grande do Norte in Brazil, all right? As you zoom out, kind of see a little bit of it there, and here it is in South America. Man, I am so honored that he watches the show all the way from Brazil. Thank you so much. Papa Uniform 7, Juliet Delta Papa, Fernando de Carvalho Arrojo, all the way from Brazil, watching Ham Radio Live. Man, thank you guys. I mean that. When I say thank you for watching the shows, I mean it, because I think of how far away you come. I just can't fathom that. I really can't. By the way, I want to get up to somebody real quick. Tom, if you're still awake, he's pretty late where he's at. Tom, you did something on PayPal where you donated some money to me. It's a lot of money, man. You know, again, you know what I told you. I just want to say thank you publicly. What you did was unexpected by far, and so appreciate it, Tom. Thank you for that. But mostly thank you for being a good friend. Like to know about the thing we talked about where you're, got a little offer, let me know how it goes. Friends care about each other. Tom's a dear friend. Been with us since show number 66. Can you believe that? And in other news, by the way. Tell me something good. Didn't mean to blast your ears out there. Anders still looks like Sig Hansen. I couldn't help that. All right. We're going to get you to trivia questions, and that'll be the end of the show. It's going to be too hard to put Discord in here, too, because, like I say, lots of video content in this show. Let's go upstairs. We'll take a look and see what the Angry Hams have to say about the day show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Statler and Waldorf, the two old gentlemen who usually sit up here, have died. Fuzzy, they've never.
The Angry Hams did not make an appearance today. All right. Here is your first question, and it's been a while since we've done the show, so I'm a little bit slow here, so bear with me. First question, which of the following choices is the only ham band located in the medium frequency spectrum? All right, only one of these is. Is it A, 40 meters, B, 160 meters, C, 80 meters, and D is 60 meters? A, B, C, or D? Let me know which band is the only one in the HF spectrum. Good luck. I have to go back to get to the last score. I know the world is ahead. And on this piece of paper, I had the score, the last time we did the show, Oh, well, I'll figure it out. I do know the world is ahead by 5. So let's just make it a fun score. 40, we'll just make up a score. It's only 5, 45-40. Good. All right, 45-40. And I know that's right. All right, let's take a look at your answers real quick. Again, the only band not in the HF portion, really, and it's the only one not in the HF. It's the only one in the medium frequency. Here in the States, we call it medium wave. It's different here than it is maybe where you are. We call it medium wave, and we call the ones below medium wave long wave, and the ones above short wave, even though it's high frequency. All right, first one in out from around the world is zooming. Oh, it helps, Larry. It helps me always when I am prepared and I have everybody up on the, the board to be able to get you all in. And Tom, again, thank you. Let me know how things go on that thing. Andy New, Mike 7, Charlie U, November. He loves our trivia questions as well with it. He has B160 meters. He is correct. Well done, Andy. Yep. It is a 160 meter band. Here is a look at the band plan. Just not the band plan, but where things are, okay? If you're from 0.003 megahertz to 0.03 megahertz, you're on very low frequency. If you're at 0.03 megahertz to 0.3 megahertz, it's medium. Sorry, you're on low frequency there. Now, from 0.3 megahertz to 3 megahertz, they say, is medium frequency. And yeah, okay, it's true, because from 3 to 30 is high frequency, 30 to 300, very high frequency, and 300 to 3000 megahertz, also known as 3 gigahertz, would be UHF. So, correct answer, Andy New, Mike 7, Charlie Union November from the UK. Got it right. Also, getting that, by the way, Steve in the UK was second. Charlie in Red Summit had B. William had D. Let's see, Mike in Jacksonville with B. Tom with B. Acid Drop. Yeah, I know, right, Rodney? Yeah, I know. It was too loud. I'm sorry. Yeah. Hit my earphones pretty bad, too. Cliff Bolts with B. Don with B. Jonathan with B. Jeff with A. And yep, Roger, it's B. And it is correct. Yeah, 160. It's the only one that's in the medium frequency spectrum. All right. And here in the States, kind of weird because a lot of people call it medium wave. It's different, old name for the same band. And this is what we would call the medium wave band, the medium frequency band elsewhere, 160 meters. Second question of 2. The ACOM 1000 linear amplifier ACOM 1000 linear does not cover which band? Okay, is it A160, B30, C 6 meters, or D 2 meters? Again, we're talking about the ACOM 1000. Okay, A is 160, B is 30, C is the 6 meter band, D is the 2 meter band. First one in with the right answer gets the points. Good luck. It's worth 5 points. And the world is now up by 10, so it's 50 to 40. But knowing the world, they'll give up the lead. Because, it seems like the United States, North America, all of us, we just come back every time. We'll see. Steve, first one. He's got 160 meters. Nope, not it. Jeff from Eastern Tennessee, November 4, Papa Oscar Delta. He has D, the 2 meter band. Bingo, bango, bongo, he got it. And the points go to North America. All right. So I think we have accomplished nothing today. In many ways, probably in your mind, maybe too. Yeah, it's 45 now to 50. The world is ahead. The 2 meter band, ACOM 1000 linear, just doesn't cover that. It covers 160, it covers 30, it covers 6. So it's 160 to a 6 meter amplifier. Andy New just missed it with D. Charlie got C. Mike in Jacksonville with C. With D, Tom with D. Cliff with D. RTF Droney, welcome to the show, has D. Don with D. Andy with D. Jenna with A. Acid Drop. It's Siobhan with D. Kjell in Norway with D. W. Curve with D. William had D. Dave in Temecula. And by the way, I want to stop for a second here. It's important. I want to put Dave back up here because Dave said I could do this before we close. Dave has he's fighting cancer right now. And so he sent me an email and he talked about the things he's going through. He's going through some pretty rough treatments. He has like 5 weeks or so of radiation treatments. Keep him in your thoughts and prayers, would you? Because he's going through an awful lot. Dave, we're wishing the best of health, happiness, and prayers for good health and happiness so you feel better soon, Dave. You're right there, top of my prayer list, man. Hope you get better soon. He's in Temecula, and we wish him the best. That's a hard thing to go through, what he's going through there. So we appreciate that. A lot of folks getting right. I did want to answer something up here earlier. Let's see, Andy, I think it was Andy Cowley. He had mentioned something about the 7100 and it not doing 100 watts if I had some sort of a mod to get up to 100. If you look back at the video, actually, you'll see it was putting out 100 watts with no problem whatsoever at the first park and at the second park. The third park I struggled from. It was, and what would cause that? Think about it. First and second park did well, 100 watts. Third park didn't do 100 watts on the radio. What was the difference? Soil conductivity was, right? The ground radios were different. The soil was different for the ground. Therefore, it wasn't putting out the full 100, where it was up at the mountains and down in the valley. That was an interesting thing I found out also about the radio. So, yeah, I think it was Andy or somebody that mentioned it about the mod for the 7100. Mine puts out 100 watts, no problem at all. And it does so with the chameleon right literally out of the backpack. Snap it together, put it up, and it's up at 100. So it did well for me. Yeah. And by the way, the other thing I was going to say, and Sam, you enjoy your grilling. If you ever want to invite me over, if you're going to grill, I'll come. Battery drain. I worked that battery over 6 hours at 100 watts, and it was still going strong. Really was. Did well. I was really thrilled with the BioWinnow 1220A. I did a short little video at the very end of my time at the beach about it because I was impressed. I mean, it was over 6 hours at 100 watts, and the BioWinnow 1220A just did phenomenally. Did very, very well. Mike, Kilo Golf 2, Mike from Jacksonville. Did you add more radios to the Chameleon M-Pass or just use the one? I used 4. I had 4 equal length copper radios, and they went, what are they? They're 3 meters long. So yeah, that was mine. Worked great. Loved it. And thank you for the prayers for Dave. He needs them. He's been going through a lot, and we wish a lot. Yeah. He said it was me. Check out on a power meter. Well, Andy, I mean, I can only tell you that we worked me coast to coast, and everything was 100 watts, and it shows 100 watts in the tuner here, and 100 watts on the digital meter here, and 100 watts on the 901 meter here. It works at 100 watts. I wouldn't say it here if it didn't do it, mate. I don't know how many more meters I got to check it on. Because that was something people said. I heard that before. I read the comments. Maybe, I mean, this battery's 2 months, the radio is 2 months old. So perhaps there was something that was done to the newer ones. I don't know. But it works at 100 watts for me, no problem. Has done very, very well. Really has. Oh, Sam, I get to come over for dinner? Woohoo! Yay! Mark Myers, this is awesome. First timer, welcome to the show. Wow, how cool is this? Thanks for the POTA QSO. This is Kilo Alpha 6, Victor Papa Juliet from Anaheim, California. It was a pleasure to talk with you, and better yet, now I get to listen firsthand to my audio quality. You sure did, man. That was cool. It was neat to make the call. Lots of great people. Seriously, I mean, I was Wyoming, North Dakota, Illinois, Florida, Tennessee, Texas, Arkansas. I think I got Georgia. I think. That one, don't quote me on. A lot of California. 2 to Alaska. Interesting, nothing from the beach went to Hawaii. That was kind of cool, but I thought I'd get more. But it did really good. I was so happy with how things went. And you know what? It was a lot of fun, too. If you haven't ever tried Parks on the Air, or maybe you're restricted at home, right? You don't have room for an antenna. You can't put it up. Gee, take your radio out. I know it's kind of frustrating. Maybe get a battery too, right? Because you got a power supply, right? You bought it. But still, just get the battery. Oh my gosh, you'll have a ball. You really will. Just get in some shade, your favorite beverage, and play radio. And the number one thing, this is it, the number one thing, it came from William, and this is it here. He says, my 7100 doesn't put out anything. Oh, wait, I have an 891. Yeah, okay. William was one who said this on Friday's show, and it's the truth. And I really remembered his statement. I remembered it. He said, have fun. That's the number one thing, have fun. If you go there and you keep reminding yourself you can have fun, do it. Have a good time. And no matter what happens, you will truly enjoy what you're doing. I bet if you go do a one park on the air, you're going to be hooked because it just works. Parks on the Air was one of the coolest things, if not the number one coolest thing I have ever done as, a part of amateur radio. I invite you to try it as well. All right, guys, we're going to close the show. I appreciate you coming to the show today. I know it went long. Thought it would. Sorry there's no live QSOs today, but it's been a pleasure to spend some time with you. We would love to help you to get your amateur radio license. That is so doggone much fun. Contact someone like the Radio Society of Great Britain. They're really good at helping people worldwide. Oh my gosh. And they have growing numbers in the United Kingdom as well. www.rsgb.org is where you'll find them. We're going to go all the way. Why don't we go to Bulgaria? No, we did that recently. We won't do that one. Let's go to radio. Why don't we do a radio sign off there? Should we radio sign off? Okay. We'll do a radio sign-off today. Okay, we'll go old-fashioned. This is a long old-fashioned radio sign-off, and it was also the most powerful AM broadcaster in North America, one of the most in the world, 500,000 watts. Now, they were able to do this for only a few years until they got stepped on, so they couldn't do it anymore. This is WLW, Cincinnati, Ohio. Until we meet again, my name's Larry. My call sign Amateur Radio's Kilo 7 Hotel November. Go do a park on the air. Till we meet next time. God bless you. Goodbye, everybody.
This is the Nation Station. WLW, the Crosley Radio Corporation, Cincinnati.
Ladies and gentlemen, with this presentation, we are concluding the broadcasting activities of WLW, the Nation Station, owned and operated by the Crosley Radio Corporation, Cincinnati, Ohio, the United States of America. By authority of the Federal Communications Commission, WLW operates at the assigned frequency of 700 kilocycles and uses a full signal strength of 500,000 watts. Speaking on behalf of the entire staff of WLW, the world's most powerful broadcast station, may I bid you a pleasant good night and good morning.
Can the amplified voice of Ella Fitzgerald shatter this glass? Believe it. Ella Fitzgerald on Memorex cassette tape with MRX2 oxide. Can Memorex shatter the glass? Now we ask, is it live or is it Memorex?